All right. Happy Friday, Cyber Traders. Great to see all of us here inside our live trading room. Kathleen, Patrick, Brian, Grant, Leda, Matthew, all of our students here. Otherwise, got Lawrence and Ravi and Kathleen, all of us here in chat right now. Give me a quick sound check. Make sure everyone can hear me loud and clear. And for all of us in social media, TGIF, right? A little TGIF here this Friday morning, August 23rd. For recording purposes. Great to have all of us here. Otherwise, on social media, that being at Cyber Trading U. On the lower left, that will pop up right there. Once again, at Cyber Trading U. If you're new to our streams, just always hit the follow or subscribe button at the end of this. At least join us inside our live trading room. Otherwise, got Irving, Ray, Barbara, Bill, Gillis, all of us here. So let me ask all of us here to begin. What's everybody got going on for the weekend? You know, for all of us inside our live trading room, what are you up to for this weekend coming up? My immediate future, not the weekend. I got to fill up on coffee. I got no coffee this morning so far. John doing a golf barbecue. Irving traveling south. Wishing you well, Irving. Safe travels to you. And Lawrence, honeydews. There you go. Right, got to get it done. And Leda says family camp out and a health fair. Very nice. Lovely to hear. Pick up some essential oils, Leda. I'm certain. Leonard says staying cool in Texas. Yeah, I got to stay cool down here in Florida. You know, just the dog days of summer pretty much, but we're heading into the end of the summer season. It is very hot, very sticky out here in Florida. DJ says studying and a workout. Hey, nothing better than that, right? A little self-care. And I always love the answer studying. As a student, as a member here, I always love that answer. But otherwise, right, it's all about the finer things in life, not just old CTU here, not just this screen that you're staring at. But Lynn and Randy says heading to Oregon, safe travels there. Mike says heading on a 5-day cruise. Speaking of safe travels, wishing you well, Mike. Mike, where are you heading to? Where are you heading around the cruise? Or is it going around? Mike's based in Texas, so I'm kind of figuring it's going to start around there, obviously, and go around. But Alan says barbecue with friends. Kennedy says she's going crabbing. Michael, around the Caribbean. Cool, very nice. Grant says going to take a ride in the National Forest in Pennsylvania. Ooh, that sounds lovely, Grant. Take some nice photos for us there and send them over. We'll show them afterwards. But, you know, great to know and great to have all of us here. Wishing you well, of course, otherwise. And with that said, I'll tell you what, I told myself this morning, a little Josh story here to begin. Well, first off, on social media, I got a face for radio today. So you'll understand why in a bit. I was like all for Clem coming to my desk this morning. So thankfully I'm here. I'm good to go. But little old Josh story this morning. From yesterday, I knew how to get like new tires, get a whole alignment on my car, my Alfa Romeo, and it's like, oh my god, because I know it's gonna be a lot, especially for an Alfa, and the tires are expensive. You got to get decent tires to that type of car. You can't go cheap on it. So, you know, the guy's recommending 4 tires and an alignment. Geez, that's something like 1,200 or so, 1,300 or so. I ended up pulling the trigger on 2 tires and the alignment. It was like $800 this morning. I just dropped. And I got back to my desk. It was like, 8:20 in the morning. It was 8:15 in the morning, maybe right around then. And, I'm just saying to myself, like, all right, there's not much out here this morning in pre-market. It's a slow Friday. You know, I'm happy I didn't wake up at the crack of dawn to trade and do this, do that. Well, all of a sudden, this thing starts revving back up again. And from there, that's what led to one of the better trades I've taken in pre-market, at least myself. So, you know, this stock ended up having a great pop initially off of this area. You could say that. That's easy to say here. But more so than that, this was building a Fausto flag. This was building a pretty clean Fausto flag where it was holding resistance essentially off of like this top here, 880, 890. And then from there, once it ended up making that cleaner pop, ended up leading to a run, right? So I jumped in on this trade off of 9. It was like 9.15, my entry price, right around there. Ended up running it up towards that. And I got out at like 10.17. 10.17. From there, I kept going up more. But what happened was there was an iceberg order out there, seller, big sell order out there, right there. So you want to take the money and run, right? You don't want to be greedy. It's pre-market. This had a great pop to begin with from 8. Well, it ran all the way up, and then I saw this order get pulled. I was still just saying, let's just take the money and run. Let's just get out at 10.17. It was holding under there for a little bit. I felt great with the exit. But here's the thing. This is the cool part. Let's look up. This order ended up actually pulling and moving up higher to $12. They moved up higher to 12. So it kept going up more and more and more, but then topped off essentially not at 12, but at 11 for the time being. Currently, if you're looking at resistance, I don't know if this is the same person that was here, but now at this point, you have your resistance up top at 1235, 1234. Little 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. A little play on numbers there. But yeah, going into the open, I got my tire money now at this point. I'm a happy camper. But yeah, going into the open, we'll definitely add the FFIE. If this keeps going, hey, kudos. That's awesome, right? Because tires are not, right? Expenses are not. It's to say that on a Friday, you normally don't see as much. So if you don't normally see as much, you shouldn't normally shoot as frequent. Now, with that, today's a summer Friday. It's like the pits. This is literally as bad as it gets, honestly, for volatility. A late August, early September Friday is as bad as it can get. So I wasn't expecting anything. But you know what? For as much as I say that, when this ends up showing you a clean level, clean top, clean resistance, and we know that after a stock breaks through a big level on the way up, we're looking for that big move shortly after. From that point, led to a phenomenal run. Leda in chat. How about this? Leda doing a little multitasking here. One of our longtime students. She's in chat with us inside our live trading room. She's asking right now, is that what you call a ladder? Well, not as much on the bid side, at least. Maybe coming up if this order can pull here on the bid and move up in price. This is just a whole bunch of mishmash here. Now, as far as ladders go and level 4 here, the heat map program, we're going to be teaching a lot of that coming up this morning. Rich, if you want to do me a quick favor, my friend, post the link for the Phase 2 stock course coming up later on this morning. We're going to be continuing our classes today. The Phase 2 stock course lined up at 10:35 Eastern time. We're going to be talking about pre-market trading on top. That's actually lined up for this afternoon's class. But we have a lot more to talk about with gaps and squeezes and bounces. So, with that in mind, we got a lot of education here. And before that, we got a full hour's worth of trading. So let's just rip it right from top to bottom here and see what we could work with otherwise. The SQNS, I took a break even on this trade. I was looking for a push up a little bit higher. I was looking for like a little resistance here at this past peak. Never got it. Maybe I'll get it later on. But, just before, as it pulled back before this meeting started, I got out. I just got in and out right at 141, up a few pennies. But, if it's not going to make that move you're looking for it to make, you don't want to hold on to it just over time. Just pull your hair out wondering if, maybe when, especially as I'm doing a broadcast like this, I want to keep it moving. So it looks like lower highs here. I don't mind putting on our list. Doesn't hurt to put on our list to begin, at least of all things. It's a category 1 or 2 stock for now. Top percent gainer. So yeah, we'll do that. PRTG, not as much though. And this thing is just very much dead. It needs to show a lot of signs of life for us to become interested in this one now. MNTS, that's kind of like a mix between the first two we just covered. It has good volume on the book, but it is like kind of dead. Not as lively as the SQNS potentially was, but we'll keep going. We'll keep going here, see what else we could work with. The FFIE we talked about already. CRKN. Wow, this had a nice little pop yesterday morning. I don't think that we had called this one out as much, really. Pop, drop, and then pop again, and, well, drop again. So, yeah, if it's not going to hold, then I'm not as much a fan so far. We learned that on the MPOX stocks, right, just yesterday. So VRAX make, a big pop. Actually, on Tuesday it was, and then Thursday had a strong close, but look what happened the following day. That's Wednesday. I'm sorry, that was. But, going into the open today, at least, it's up like 8 to 9%. Again, another stock we'll kind of come back to if it makes just like a Hail Mary pop before we finish this meeting up. There's a lot that looks like that. So I don't want to build up too big of a list just to begin. Be a little bit more selective for a summer Friday. Ethereum ETF up a little bit. RKLB, familiar name, just kind of spotty right now, though. This had a good week. All right, we'll hop over to the more expensive gainer side here next just to see. NVIDIA and Tesla up like over 1%. So those are doing okay here heading into the open, both showing decent signs of life, decent trends up. If you tend to focus on those more, then you might be in for a good day. Oh, don't we have our guy Powell? We got main event Jerome Powell on today, don't we? We got Powell at Jackson Hole, it's called, whatever that is, that meeting place he goes to. So I think that he's deciding on the rates again, right? He's going to announce that the Fed's going to cut back, I think, 50 basis points. Is that what the rumor is? Top of the hour, says Bill. What, 10 o'clock? Okay, there we go. It's like I just barely remembered that. Wow, I forgot. Main event Jerome Powell. So we'll have to listen to what he has to say. Of course, it looks like a decent push on NVIDIA, on Tesla, but subject to change. If he says something the street's not expecting, then maybe you get a little sell-off there. But let's see. Anything on the loser side here? Got to trim this down a bit. AIRI, what goes up comes back down. Holy smokes, what happened here? The UBXG clearance sale. Down 84% today. Yeah, it's down enough for us to look for that dead cat bounce. It is as flat can be, though. So definitely got to see higher highs going into the open shortly afterwards. I don't expect it initially, but once you begin to see it, that could trigger a short squeeze. That could trigger a dead cat bounce otherwise, and see shorts cover, make a small lift pop, and then drop back down. But chuck in and out on that GDC trade. Yeah, it's popping right back up. That was moving up as we were going from top to bottom. So we're going to add GDC to our list now at this point. DJ saying WDAY popped in the after hours. Very expensive, though. Very expensive. This is going to have a horrible order book, horrible spread. I mean that. I'm just putting it that way because I do want you to move on from something like this a lot more than, something like NVIDIA, Tesla is, I would potentially focus on these stocks, even though they're more expensive. These stocks have a lot more visibility out there in the order book. I would not be trading a stock like WDAY, a day trade at least. All right. Anything else we got here, folks? Any stocks like more within our price range, more like below 30? Below 30 here. GDC, PTRG, MPOC stocks we talked about there briefly. I'll go back to that one more time. It's only 9:12. We kind of zipped through the gainers losers list here. Had a great trade on the FFIE to start. APDN, this just popped and then dropped back down at least. But, we'll give it the benefit of the doubt here, given more of a late pre-market move for now. So I'll add APDN. That doesn't look terrible for now. Hopefully the order book, well, hopefully this bounces. The order book is liquid on this. This is going to be a penny spread, so you're fine there. PRTG, the MNTS, very blah. Nothing really too impressive about either of these outside of the fact that they're just up percentage-wise. So if I'm going to choose one over the other, for now I'm choosing the MNTS. But otherwise, I want something looking a lot better than either of those. Either of those. You got VRAX here not looking too good. GoVax here looking bad. All right, there you go, DJ. In and out with profit. Take the money and run. Listen, I'm always a cheerleader, and I know people don't like being told what not to do. I always like to say that, and I always say on top of that, I'm the leader in that clubhouse. I hate being told what not to do. So the thing is just that you want to make sure that you're following stocks that have good liquidity, good order book out there. Stock like this does not have that right now. GoVax, this thing's a mess, not only on the chart, but on the order book as well. So you got to make sure you go through our curriculum phases 1, then 2, then 3 afterwards to get the full real understanding for what we're looking for trade by trade. It's easy to get caught watching the shiny object in the room, easy to get caught following something that isn't so much tradable. Brian, great to have you back. Brian W. He says, nice to be back after 8 days off. Brian, where were you, my friend? Speaking about weekend activities and whatnot, where were you? Hopefully on a nice trip, hopefully on a nice little vacation. Malibu Beach. Ooh, very nice, Brian. Hope you had fun. Hopefully you have a nice tan now. And like I said to Grant, if you have some nice pictures, always feel free to send them over. I'll share them with the crew here. But, otherwise, folks, hey, we got about 15 minutes before the market opens up. If you're not sticking around here going into the afternoon, wishing you a great weekend ahead, especially for those of us on social media, Facebook Live, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, etc. Again, on the lower left, you'll see that pop up at Cyber Trading U. If you're not subscribed or followed to our social media streams or platforms yet, including YouTube, hey, what are you waiting for? Be a friend, tell a friend that we got a little YouTube account going here at Cyber Trading U. And then as well as that, just feel free to join us inside our live trading room. We got about 120 of us here right now live. I see Alex, I see Tim, I see Elmer. Got a few more names I haven't shouted out yet so far. We got Pete, we got Ron P, we got Bill, we got Alberto, we got Jith, we got Mark R, Joe R, we got Randall S, Miriam G. We got a bunch of us joining us here inside our live trading room. So if you wanted to be a student, if you wanted to be one of them, follow us inside our live trading room at least. Scan that QR code on the top left of that stream right there with your phone, with your camera. We look forward to having you there. But for all of us otherwise, and make sure I fill up on not just water, but I gotta get my coffee in me here going into the open. Can't be a brain fog here going into not only the open, but also class. We got class coming up here as well. So long day, folks, for a summer Friday. Looking forward to